Hi, this is DEDMan. If you're watching this video, I assume you're old enough to see gore, violence, swearing, and general adult content. If you aren't old enough, come back with some ID. Or a fake one. Kojima's always a win. Harry Gregson Williams is always a win. Epic title screen.
The Hudson River, 2 years ago. We had classified intelligence that a new type of Metal Gear was scheduled for transport.
Even if it's just setting up the game with narration, David Hayter is always a win. Having raindrops on the screen is a nice touch. Badass entrance. Stealth infiltration onto the tanker mission is the best way to have your title card. Still a nice touch having the actor's name included in the character intro.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Running gags are nice too.
Everything going okay?
The stealth camo's busted. Landing impact.
We must have overused it. Sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with it.
I think Snake's superhero landed too hard.
I'm happy as long as no one gives me any more unwanted gifts.
You mean that thing with Naomi?
Win for no unwanted gifts?
And I can't say I miss the chattering nanny.
Mei Ling's not so bad.
How dare you trash talk Mei Ling? See if she saves your data for you ever again.
You know how the technical specs of Metal Gear were sold on the black market after Shadow Moses?
All Ocelot's doing.
Exactly. And now every state, group, and .com has its own version of Metal Gear.
Not sure if having Amazon Prime yeeting my package through a wall is good or bad. I suppose on the bright side it would take less time.
Don't worry, I know the drill. We're not terrorists.
Very good. Don't you forget that you're part of Philanthropy now, an anti-Metal Gear organization and officially recognized by the UN.
Recognized, but still fringe, Otacon.
Being recognized would still be an important step, otherwise you'd just be terrorists blowing up government property.
Your weapon is a tranquilizer gun converted from a Beretta M92F.
M9.
It's a little hard to work with because you have to reload after each shot since the slide locks.
Better than scavenging at the mission site. Good suppressor, too.
Especially since we couldn't scavenge a tranquilizer gun on the last go-round. We are not trying to kill everyone we come across.
The effects of the anesthetic round will vary depending on what part of the body is hit. We're talking about a difference of tens of seconds between hitting limbs, chest, or head.
That will always be a cool gameplay mechanic.
As for the equipment... Hey, Snake, cigarettes? What's wrong with you?
It's kind of a lucky charm.
You haven't read the Surgeon General's warning, have you?
At least you didn't have to use his prison wallet this time.
By the way, Otacon, are you sure of this intelligence?
Absolutely. Hacked it out of the Pentagon's classified files myself.
No traces?
Oh, please, I'm too good for that.
But this might be a trap. Remember, there's a price on our heads.
You're just being paranoid.
Just because he's paranoid doesn't mean he's not right. Don't get such a big head, Otacon, and double check your work next time.
What?
Okay. So I guess the Russians aren't using the same rules of engagement as we are.
Russians?
You sure?
No Marine barber touched that head of hair.
Knowing your enemy based on their fashion statement.
Snake, you of course know the saying, one for all for one?
What is this all of a sudden?
Oh, I figured you'd need a lot of motivation, so I came prepared.
Sorry, Otacon, you're no Mei Ling. Points for trying, though.
And I'll teach you a lot more of these, you can count on it.
Sneaky, Otacon, making us think you'll be here the whole game. The improvements made from the previous generation are astounding. You can lean around corners and stand on your tiptoes for a better shot.
This reminds me of when we first met.
I was the one inside the locker that time. We're equal now, huh?
Not unless I wet my pants.
Snake, those pipes you see along the wall and ceiling are steam conduits. They're thin enough to penetrate with gunfire. Don't touch the steam. One of those blasts from the hole will burn your skin off. You may be able to use it as a trap of some sort, though.
Using the environment to your advantage.
Not too shabby, is it? New York, I mean. And that brings our tour to its conclusion.
A nice twist in the battle to make you have to think about where you're shooting. Yet another twist to make this fight even more thrilling.
We initiated development of Metal Gear Ray as a countermeasure to these pirated weapons forces. The only thing that can stand up to a Metal Gear is, of course, another Metal Gear.
I don't think in this situation you should be fighting fire with fire.
Intruder to the left!
I know I'm on the right side, but it still gave me a heart attack. Shouting at your competitor?
What are you planning to do, steal this thing?
Steal? No, I'm taking it back.
That's cool, I'm taking it back.
Ocelot is a badass bad guy.
Sergey, looks like you were long overdue for retirement.
Followed by a cheesy one-liner.
It's been a while, brother.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
Liquid?
Okay, so the thing with Liquid's arm is definitely confusing, but it is entertaining to watch Liquid Ocelot. Ray jetting out of the water and hanging in midair is an epic shot.
Snake, do you remember the sinking of that tanker 2 years ago?
Of course.
Snake? Your voice sounds smooth. Like you haven't been smoking for 80 years.
Unless the demands are met, the terrorists intend to blow the big shell out of the water.
And the crude will ignite, turning the Manhattan Harbor into an inferno.
That's not the worst case scenario. If the chlorides being used to decontaminate the seawater go up with the oil, toxins containing catastrophic levels of dioxins will be released. In other words, the bay's ecosystem will be wiped out, and the sea will turn into a toxic soup for centuries, becoming the worst environmental disaster in history.
Did BP build this damn thing?
And by the way, Snake, we're changing your code name for all following communication.
What's wrong with Snake?
Just a precaution. You are now designated Raiden.
It's so the fanboys don't riot, which they might have done anyway.
All right, Raiden. You've already covered infiltration and VR training.
I've completed 300 missions in VR. I feel like some kind of legendary mercenary.
Funny, since that's what the Patriots were trying to do this whole time, grooming the next Solid Snake.
How do I get up to the next level?
Grinding mobs, usually. That, kids, is why you ground your PC. Putting in an elevator scene to mimic the first game is a great way to really start this game off. First, it drives the point home that this is an orchestrated simulation by having similar comparisons. Second, it shows us personality-wise how different Snake and Raiden are, with Snake tossing his helmet and Raiden carefully setting his down.
The big shell is comprised of shells 1 and 2. Each unit consists of a central core and 6 struts surrounding it.
So the whole thing is shaped like 2 hexagons connected end on end.
Or outer heaven. The ability to slip in bird crap is pure Kojima. Whoa, getting some serious Gray Fox vibes here. I'm not sure what's more terrifying, cyborg ninja or vampire.
5 today. Or rather 6.
Phil Lamar is always a win.
My name is Pliskin. Iroquois Pliskin.
You aren't fooling anyone, Kurt Russell.
How did you get in?
Fast rope descent from a Navy chopper.
A subtle hint that Snake was the one who cut a hole in the oil fence and took out those guards.
It's possible the terrorists will attempt to destroy the big shell in retaliation for the SEAL strike.
You know, on later playthroughs, it really does come through that Campbell is an AI. The way he talks and even his voice sounds like it has a filter on it, making him sound that way.
That's not the bad news either. These are sensor-proof.
What?
New model, I guess. The ionization sensor can't detect them. The whole thing is sealed tight to prevent vapor leak, and there's no trace of that cologne signature. Pete, looks like he fooled you.
We've been hecking bamboozled.
Be careful, there are Claymore mines around there.
Who is this?
Stealth-equipped Claymore mines, invisible to the naked eye. Use the mine detector.
Identify yourself.
Just call me Deep Throat.
More Metal Gear Solid callbacks.
Mr. X, then.
X gon' give it to you!
Puzzling. I saw a man dressed like a ninja just now.
Ninja?
It's the only way to describe it. A kind of cyborg ninja, complete with a sword.
I'm sure you saw him, Olga. In the mirror, maybe. Having to find the bombs in all the struts is a fun puzzle considering where some of the C4 is placed.
Damn! That was it!
What's going on?
The detonator just woke up. It's counting down!
What happened?
The big ones were rigged to be activated when all the baby C4s went offline.
Dang it, I've been bamboozled again. Fortune's boss bar is incredibly low, likely to give you false hope as you can't hit her anyway.
Now!
You shot Church, you team-killing fucktard!
There's no need for sorrow, Queen. I died once already.
Okay, so I guess he really is a vampire. Should have used wooden bullets, Raiden.
I can't die twice.
Sekiro can, though.
Life is short. Bombs tell the time with every moment of their existence, and nothing else announces its own end with such a fanfare.
Let me get this straight. I'm about to fight an explosives expert, with a bomb blast suit, on rollerblades, and drinking Rhine with the straw. What the fuck, Kojima? But in all seriousness, Fat Man's fight is great. Having to quickly disarm the bombs while trying to overcome Fat Man is thrilling. Also a great time to bring up the epic boss music used in Metal Gear Solid 2. Definitely puts you on the edge and raises the tension in the fight. Hiding the big bomb to blow the entire big shell under your corpse is pretty genius. Too bad Raiden is just a little too smart for that.
You'll get nowhere just like that. Try this instead.
Disguising yourself as a mission. You really don't see many things like this in stealth games, aside from Hitman, and I wish there were more like it. Being able to sneak Easter eggs of your previous work in. Thankfully, you can't actually murk the parrot, but having a force field around it is hilarious. Also, when you shoot at the cage, it gets pissed and alerts the guards. Listening for Ames's irregular heartbeat because of his pacemaker is another unique mission, and yet again I wish more games could implement this kind of design.
The President's own vital signs.
Heartbeat, brainwave pattern, blood pressure, and so on are constantly monitored and relayed by his internal nanomachines. This information, along with the DNA pattern, serve as a biometric password, unbreakable even by the latest parallel processor supercomputers. The password entry itself cannot be performed unless brainwave patterns and heartbeats fall within normal parameters, rendering chemical and other forms of coercion impractical. In other words, the login must be made of the president's own free will.
That's a pretty impassive password system. Ocelot must be bummed he can't torture the password out of the president.
Make sure you keep him alive until then.
Yes, I know.
No disintegration.
Snake and his partner aren't terrorists.
Jack, why are you defending them?
I look back on what I've done here so far, and things like training and sense of duty alone won't get you through a sneaking mission like this.
Here you can see Raiden start to question his orders more than he already has been with all the different information he's been given through the course of this mission. Why is the hero Solid Snake planning to do these awful things when he's the hero of Shadow Moses? Why do the hostages / everyone else have entirely different sets of information than Raiden? All these things come together in the end for a giant mindbender.
I'm the boss to surpass Big Boss himself.
So, Solidus is saying he's the Ray to Big Boss's Rex?
No, that is not Solid Snake.
On the list of things Solidus would go to jail for, you can now add identity theft on his rap sheet.
Right, take cover.
It's a little late, but badass bad guy entrance.
I'm a whole different game from Liquid.
Can I do 2 badass bad guy ones in a row? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna do it anyway. Personal trainers hate him. Click here to find out why. Friendly fire, dude.
Did I get him?
Right. This is the Stinger missile launcher. The Kasaka can't stand up to the Harrier. You have to shoot the Harrier down.
What is this, a Resident Evil game? There goes surpassing Big Boss if you're just gonna copy him.
There's something coming up.
Ray really likes those action shots, doesn't it?
High voltage currents on.
The door stays shut unless the president manages to take out that circuit panel from inside the room. And it's no job for bare hands.
Now where have I seen this before? Maybe take it out with a Nikita launcher?
Any suggestions?
Remember the Shadow Moses VR training.
Take out the circuit panel?
Right.
But there's no way into the room.
Try ventilation ducts.
Yeah, I think I see one.
Look for a remote control missile launcher. You can guide it through the duct into the room.
Then target the circuit panel. Got it.
Right, but make sure you don't hit the president.
Basically Shadow Moses with a couple of tweaks. Colonel? I don't think this is the best time for a call.
Your equipment, that skull suit isn't exactly standard military issue.
Observant.
I'm prepared to face the consequences of my betrayal.
What are you... What the...
You're a man?
Maybe not that observant.
George Sears. That was the name the public came to know him by. I knew him by his code name, Solidus Snake. He was the third Snake, preceded by Solid and Liquid, a survivor of the Les Enfants Terribles project. Neither Solid nor Liquid. He was a well-balanced masterpiece, that the Patriots saw fit to entrust with the presidency.
Well, that's certainly an interesting way to get Solidus for a name.
Wet and miserable. This place is flooded. The seawater that's been pumped up is pouring into the building.
I see. Listen, there's something I have to tell you about EE.
Don't worry about her. I'll get her out.
She's afraid of water.
What?
Yeah. When she was 6 years old, she almost drowned with my father in our swimming pool.
Well, there's at least some story significance on why this part is a pain. Closure. Terrifying closure.
Still ticking, huh?
Unfortunately, hell had no vacancies.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Apparently scared bladders run in the family.
Why are you involved with Metal Gear?
Huh?
You knew our family's dark history and still got involved? What's wrong with you?
I should have known.
Answer me. Why are you repeating the same mistake?
Well, she is the simulation version of you, wet drawers and all. Guiding Emma across the pipeline is excellent. It's one of the few escort missions that's not a drag. That's gotta be humiliating, getting headshot 2 times by the same guy.
You don't hate me?
Never. I never wanted to get in your way. I never wanted to hurt you. I thought that with Arsenal, if I followed in your footsteps, I could be closer.
This is touching and tragic.
I had a relationship with your mother. She seduced me. And it went on. My father's death was no accident. He took his own life. It was my fault. All my fault. Forgive me, Emma.
Super inappropriate, but Otacon has game.
I should be going with you.
You've got your job. We've got ours.
You mean I'd only get in your way?
Wrong. Only you can save those hostages.
Telling the truth while also avoiding it. Badass slow-mo walk. Super secret bro handshake.
Hal, I miss you. Hal, I miss you.
That parrot is a dick. Read a room.
You're changing sides now?
Change sides? I don't recall saying I was on yours.
This was a nice fake out.
You! Ready for some shut-eye?
Was not expecting Olga to be the cyborg ninja.
You were one of the best among the child soldiers that fought in that conflict. When you were barely 10 years old, you became the platoon leader of the small boy unit. At the time, your outstanding kill record earned you several nicknames, including White Devil and Jack the Ripper.
Raiden being a child soldier really explains a lot of his conversations with Rose when they talk about the two of them together, and Raiden doing exactly as he's told.
I was expecting at the time. When I gave birth to my child, it turned out I was in a hospital run by the Patriots. In the morning, my child was gone. My baby is being kept somewhere in this country.
Does anyone in the saga have any kind of happy life?
Jack, I love you the way you are now. You have to believe me. I didn't know anything about you, I admit that. Where you were born, how you grew up. But I know that now. And I know that what I feel for you can only get better. And I'll share in your past if that's the price.
It doesn't work that way. No one can share the burden of what I've done. It's not one of those warm and fuzzy things couples share.
I accept the good and the bad, Jack. That's what you do for someone you love.
This entire conversation has been building through the whole game, and Quentin Flynn and Laura Cody are excellent together. Going through arsenal gear naked and fighting elite soldiers while grabbing your junk is either really epic or really weird. Or a bit of both.
I'm carrying. I'm pregnant, Jack.
Rose, what's going on?
That's okay. I didn't need to sleep tonight.
Move the right stick up and down to make a vertical slice, and left and right to slice parallel to the ground. Move the stick in a circle to do a rotating cut. Push it forward to lunge and strike. You can guard with your blade if you have the L1 button pressed down. You should be able to deflect a bullet or two.
Prototype Metal Gear Rising.
If you run out of ammo, you can have mine.
You got enough?
Absolutely. Infinite ammo.
Fourth wall breaking callback.
And we're not in this to make a name for ourselves.
Then what are you and Otacon fighting for?
A future.
That's one of the reasons Snake is a worthy hero. He doesn't care about recognition, just what's right for humanity.
What am I? What am I supposed to do?
Find something to believe in, and find it for yourself. And when you do, pass it on to the future.
Stand up and walk. Keep moving forward. You've got 2 good legs, so use them.
Not quite as good as the Psycho Mantis Hideo freakout, but GW attempting to fake you out is pretty great. I know the S3 program was supposed to replicate a badass like Solid Snake, but isn't throwing this many rays at me just a little overkill? Still an awesome boss fight, though.
Stupid machines! Damn the Patriots!
Okay, wow. Solidus is really a badass bad guy.
Ames and the President's deaths. The ninja. The computer virus that mimics Fox Die. Did you really think they were all a coincidence? Ames' own nanomachines were used to shut down his pacemaker. I arranged for the appearance of the ninja as well. As for the President, although Johnson realized what was going on, he played out his allotted part. As for the computer virus, it's a digital counterpart of Fox Die. It was also designed to eliminate every scrap of information regarding the Patriots from GW. Your plan was invalidated even before execution, Solidus.
Well, there's Kojima's famous mind games being played out, with the whole of Metal Gear Solid 2 just being a simulation orchestrated by the Patriots to make a new Solid Snake.
You were hamming it up as the tragic heroine, thanks to the script that the Patriots wrote for you. Pure self-indulgence, absorbed in your own misfortune. You couldn't get enough of the drama.
Literally writing a tragic backstory.
By the way, Jack, I was the one who killed your parents.
I killed Mufasa.
It's time we were both free. I have other reasons for wanting you dead.
The fight between Raiden and Solidus on top of Federal Hall is awesome. It's just two dudes with swords going after each other. Solidus even uses some of the jetting moves he used on the Rays earlier. It's a great final boss fight to cap off the game. I'd like to thank my artist Scott Specs. I also have special thanks for Deborah M, JJ Ryan, Jeff, Jess R, K, A Weary Rider, Death Demon 17, Steve C, and Walt W. Thank you all, and I truly appreciate all the help you've given me. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that, please like, subscribe, and share. You can follow me at Twitter at DEDManGaming13, Twitch at DEDManGaming, and Patreon's on the screen. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Try not to die out there.